even entertainment. Join us weekdays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
All right, good morning and welcome to VOP. VOP this morning, and it's a brand new day, of course, a brand new day. Welcome you to the station, and we do have quite a lot to talk about today. Well, I'm Moses Humphrey, and I'm definitely not alone. Yes, yes.
Good morning, Moses. We
Good
missed
morning
you
to
yesterday.
Moses. I missed you too.
Good morning.
Missed you greatly.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Moses looking sharp as always.
I am?
Tell me the secret.
I need a mirror,
You
actually.
didn't tell me that I'm looking sharp. And you told Moses that he's looking sharp.
Well, men supporting men on this.
Okay, no problem.
Oh well. We have, like we said earlier, we have quite a lot to talk about this morning. We'll be talking about the president slashing the presidential entourage for both foreign and local trips by 60%.
And plus, Nigeria structured politicians to encourage corruption. Who is saying that? Professor Pat Otomi.
But before we get into all of these stories, we'd like to encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube page. And you know it is at Voice of the People TV on YouTube, and on all other social media platforms we are at VOP TV Live. First off, we'll be heading into what the front pages are saying this morning. And I'm almost certain Mike's ready to fly with us on that.
Well, I'm ready to take a part from the Punch newspaper as always.
Go right
and
ahead.
then the banner headline says humanitarian ministries scandals. EFCC seizes Edu, former minister's passport. Bank MDs grilled. Suspended minister barred from traveling. On top of the nameplate, we have the NNPCL posts over 2 trillion naira profit. Fake degrees. FG probes 107 private varsities. Nigerians hailed Tinubu as president. Trims foreign trips entourage. Okay. And then police parade 3 suspects linked to plateau killings. 85 abducted as bandits return to Kaduna Abuja Expressway. Lagos police look into Tiwa Savage's petition against Davido. TB Joshua, SCOAN, that is the Synagogue Church of All Nations, faults BBC report. Ex-disciple knocks late prophet. And that's all we have for the Punch newspaper this morning, yes.
Oh, well, we have with us in the studio a legal practitioner, Mr. Darlington Agumwo. Good to have you join us this morning.
Yeah, Moses, how are you? And
Very well.
Happy New Day.
Yes.
Happy New Day indeed. Well, these are the headlines from the Punch newspaper. Which ones would you say tickles your fancy the most?
Yeah, it's all about this travel thing. You know.
Okay, let's slow down on that one because that's a conversation we'll get into much later on the show. Yes,
Okay,
but let's talk about the seizure of former Minister Betta Edu's passport, preventing her from leaving the country. Would you say this is a pass mark on the president in the fight against corruption?
Well, if you ask me, I think this is image laundering. That is what Tinubu is doing.
Image laundering.
Yes, and he looked for a scapegoat.
Oh, really?
From all indication, I think Betta Edu is like a small fry. She's a political orphan. That is why they just picked her out for all this.
Now, when you call her a political orphan, you have to bear in mind that her referee actually was Bachabi Abiamila.
No.
That was her referee.
She still remains a political orphan. That is why she's going through this. Have you forgotten that there was a 44 billion linked to one Halima Shehu? Why is it that nobody is mentioning her name? Please, the 44 billion and the 585 billion, which one is bigger?
Was Halima Shehu not suspended as well?
Is she making this news like Beta Edu? That money, where is it in the first place? The 44 billion. Have anybody said anything about it? Have anybody tried to find out where that money was moved into by that woman?
The account it was moved into is on the news.
But she's not making this big news like Beta Edu now. That's what we are saying. That one should have been on the front burner because it happened before Beta Edu.
Yeah, well, she's also being grilled by the EFCC.
We know all these things, but the way they have brought out Beta Edu is like she's like the biggest of them all. That is the way the news are projected her. Even that of Halima wasn't this noisy. It wasn't. That's what we are saying. So they just want to use that woman to show that they are doing something. Meanwhile, they are not. Because if they are, all the people that are linked to Beta Edu, all of them should have been given the same treatment like her. That's what I'm telling you, that they just want to use her to make a case.
So you don't think that possibly she will be compelled to call names?
She has already called names.
More names possibly, and then, I mean, the president is trying to fight corruption, and I think maybe it should be that he's encouraged, that is a good step in the right direction.
Look, nobody comes into government to condone corruption on the face value. But in reality and in practice, is it so? The only thing that will happen now is that all of them will be very careful. Because remember that it was a memo that leaked that brought out all these things. It was a memo that leaked. They never wanted you and I to know about it. And it leaked because the 44 billion naira was equally leaked by Beta Edu. And somebody wanted to get at her by leaking her own memo. It's like dog eat dog here. So the other ministries, they will now be careful to cover their back. But to tell me that this will be the end of corruption in this government is a lie.
Okay, that's your take. All right, I would also love to get your view on this report that NNPCL posts over 2 trillion naira profit.
Please, this NNPCL, who is the owner? Because the last time I checked, they told us that it's now a private company. Who owns NNPCL? Why is it that Nigerians we don't look at major issues that concerns us? That company supposed to be the cash cow for Nigeria, and they told us under Buhari that it had been what? Privatized. So why are they telling us how much they have earned and how much they did not earn? Who owns NN? We must find that first. It is when we now find out, we now look at the organogram, look at their administrative procedures, and know whether that company is being run the way it should be run. But all this noise about NNPC, already you and I know that that company is the only company that brings fuel into this country as of today. Is that not true? Yet it's a private company. Look, everything about NNPC is shrouded in so much mystery, and Nigerians have refused to look into it. That is why the fraud is still going on. You are talking of Edu. How about the man there, the managing director, Menekiari? Didn't you see how Tinubu celebrated his birthday the other day? This is a man that have caused us so much pain in that company. You remember the Duke that was brought here that knocked so many cars? Is that not more scandalous than what they do is going through today?
So are you saying that this post of 2 trillion naira by NNPCL is more like a political statement?
Yes, yes. That's why they want to tell us that they are making progress. On whose behalf? Were you not here when the same company told you that they didn't make any money the other time and we should even pay them money, that we are owing them and all that? So there is so much about NNPC that I, in particular, I am not happy about.
All right.
And I don't know why no government have taken it as a duty to look into NNPC. I'm telling you, very, very fraudulent company.
Well,
very fraudulent.
As it stands, a lot of Nigerians will share your sentiments there, because a lot of Nigerians are equally not happy. But let's go on to...
All right, let's just get to another paper. Right now we're looking at the Vanguard newspaper, where the banner headline here says 585 million naira graft. EFCC quizzes better Edu for hours. No bank MD was arrested or detained as Edu, Sadia, Halima clear air on their roles. Edu suspension commendable, but not enough. Article is coming out to say that. Why Tinubu removed swiftly against Better Edu, APC is coming out to make a statement there as well. On top of the nameplates, there you find Cadbury Nigeria to sell 402 million shares over inability to pay 7.7 million dollar debt. That's an interesting one. Amarilis led Rivers Assembly writes Fubara over 2024 budget presentations delay. Still on top of the nameplate there. Edo 2024. Shaib frowns on Edo not meeting endorsement and endorsing Igodalo. And of course, still on top of the nameplate. Hold Davido if harm befalls me. And then still giving you more news here, right here at the front page of Vanguard. Cost of governance. Tinubu slashes delegation for federal government trip by 60%. Army to address security in dark areas in Enugu State. That's coming from Kwaz. And Afe Babalola says there are many cases where executives immediately have been used to shield the executives from punishment. And then on AFCON sports, AFCON telecast to Nigeria uncertain as NBC blocks Star Times bid. And then that's about it. Which would you fancy in all of this, Barrister Darlington?
I want to go to Rivers.
Where
our laws have been turned upside down. You can see that the intervention of Tinubu is not holding any water at all. The letter from the suspended lawmakers for reintroduction of the budget of 2024.
Yeah.
Please, on what basis are they demanding for that? On what basis will anybody be doing that? A budget has been signed into law properly by a governor. So why would anybody now come and say they should now reintroduce the budget so that are they going to introduce the budget twice? Or are they asking Fubara to bring a new budget so that the Rivers State will now have two budgets for 2024? That is the meaning. That is the meaning. I have not seen where such a thing happens. That is why all of us frowned at what Tinubu did.
All right.
They turned our laws upside down without thinking. What he said cannot happen. It can never happen. Seriously.
All right. Let me plead with you to hold your thoughts there for a bit, because we also have our correspondent on the street of Lagos who will be speaking to some Nigerians on the headlines from different papers, getting the pulse of Nigerians. Toby, good morning to you. What's happening on the streets of Lagos? What are Nigerians saying?
Good morning.
What's your name, sir?
Engineer Tokunbo Molashe.
What news item interests you this morning, sir?
It's about cash scarcity because of its effects on retail traders on the roads and in the rural areas. Because when cash is scarce, it's different from money. Money can be of medium of exchange when people have access to transfer it. But in most villages, point of sales, which we call POS, has replaced rural banking. If you take some states now, when they have about 16 local governments, like my home state is Ekiti, there are 16 local governments in Ekiti state. And we are not having more than 6 local governments. Some say 4, some say 6. Let us take the highest. That has functional commercial banks. What it means there is that if an average trader of a banana that is already ripe, that can go bad within a day or two, is approached by someone from outside who is used to internet banking or transfers in Lagos, the person who is going to deal with does not have any account under financial inclusion, which is still not at optimal level. That creates problem. But we be on this struggle of cash scarcity or complaint of cash scarcity since October 2022, when former governor of Central Bank Emefiele did Naira redesign. Naira redesign is not the EU. There are two components of economics that becomes a guiding principle on availability of cash. Because when you are talking of economics, you are talking of M2. M2 is money supply. It's the engine room of money supply. It's called broad money. And to let our listeners know what is M2. M2 is about currency in circulation plus currency held in banks, current and savings account. They are demand deposit, because why we say is broad money is that it can be demanded for any time, and it form part of money that causes velocity of money. And having said that, when you look at Nigerian economy now, the broad money, which is M2, which is currently in circulation, is about 66 trillion. Now the cash in circulation is about 3.4 trillion. When you average that as cash in circulation or currency in circulation to broad money ratio, you are having about 5%. Except a country like Singapore, nothing like that can work in Nigeria, because some countries have adequate planning for cashless policy, in the sense that they have infrastructural surplus, not even something. Every human being in such countries have ability to transfer money on their phone, electronic money transfer. But Nigeria is not like that. It's only in urban areas that people are equipped to transfer money without being guided. Even to fill common form online is a very difficult challenge for people who are illiterate. So what I want to know, tell Central Bank, is that until they bring the cash in circulation ratio up to 10%, if they bring it up to 10% today, the cash in circulation in Nigeria will be about 6 trillion against the present 3.4. That will make cash to be available, and hoarding will reduce.
You know, he was eager to grab the mic and speak. He was eager to take control of it, because of course, yes, he has a lot to say. Fellow Nigerians like you are saying about the headlines from the papers.
All right. Barrister Darlington, you made mention of the fact that the intervention by President Tinubu on this matter didn't work well. As a barrister, please confirm to Nigerians which of these fractions is considered the very assembly members and assembly leaders of Rivers State.
Good. Thank you very much. A court of competent jurisdiction has made it clear that whenever you defect from a political party that gave you a mandate to another one, you have lost your seat. Ab initio, you have lost that position.
Okay.
The remaining lawmakers who stood by the mandate given to them by the people are the authentic and legitimate lawmaker, and they can carry out the business of that state assembly, and it will be recognized by law, whether they are one or two. And that was what happened in Rivers. Fubara presented his budget to the 4 lawmakers that stood by him, that did not defect. And it was signed into law by a year who turned out to be the speaker as at that time. So that matter is concluded.
So Amahwili,
the budget is having a life now. As I talk to you, that budget is having a life in Rivers. It has a life. You cannot come and tell me that somebody should now order for the reintroduction of something that is already running. I mean, look at it yourself.
So from a legal point of view now, Amahwili led fraction is acting so illegal right now?
Completely. In fact, unnecessarily illegal. Unnecessarily illegal. Because they are acting on what Tinubu said. But Tinubu is not our court.
All right, then. Well,
It's not our court.
Interesting times, indeed. Interesting times. Let's get on to another paper now. The Nigerian Tribune comes up. Banner headline here: Tinubu slashes entourage for foreign local trips by 60%. President's entourage, not more than 25 officials for local trips, 20 for foreign trips. VP's entourage, not more than 15 officials for local trips, 5 for foreign trips. Wife of the president's entourage, not more than 10 officials for local trips, 5 for foreign trips. Ministers, only 4 accompanying officials. This is a summary of everything said there by the president's aide. 5, I beg your pardon, Rivers Assembly asked Fubara to represent 2024 budget. That's a conversation that is still ongoing. I mean, the barrister just gave his thoughts on that one. Supreme Court reserves judgment in Plateau. Delta, Guba appeals. Court declares Anyanwu as valid PDP National Secretary. Suspected cultists murder head of vigilante group in Ogun. FG sets up panel to probe private varsities, foreign institutions. Why FX inflow into Nigeria decreased year-on-year report. NPA workers kick over post-no debit placed on agency's account. Says move will cripple port operations. All right, so these are the headlines from the Nigerian Tribune. Now, we've touched on the Rivers State issue, the politics going on in Rivers State. Amewule and Ehie, who has stepped aside. Amewule saying, he was never the speaker, according to Amewule. He was never the speaker, so why would he resign from a position he did not occupy? But we know that a court actually established that he was the speaker at the time. But anyway, let's not go too deep into that conversation before he takes over what we're doing at this moment. But about the judgment in Plateau State and Delta State, with everything going on there, you have thoughts on that one?
The thing is that of recent, we have been seeing and hearing so many judgments concerning the last election. And most of us are not happy because when your constituency is being battered in the manner they did, you will not be happy. These days now, when you mention or introduce yourself as a lawyer, some people just turn up their nose. Is it not you people that caused this problem? Are you not the one going to court doing this? Are you not the one that did this? You don't even know what to say yourself. People now resort to Babalawo to settle issues instead of going to court or meeting a lawyer. That is the implication of what happened. But I am happy what happened last week when some lawyers gathered and told the judiciary to clean up their image. We discussed it on this platform last week Friday. Some lawyers, they have gotten wind of what is going on and they are not happy. Because during the last Supreme Court judgment concerning the election, some lawyers burned their wigs. Some lawyers, they burnt their wig and gown. And that is very, very, in fact, that is a very, very bad omen for our legal profession. So the judgment now that you are talking about, for me, there's no way you look at any judgment, they will not give you reason. It is left for you to look at that reason, interrogate it. The reason for this judgment, can it stand the test of time? Because you and I know that there are so many judgments that they are given in the past, only for them to reverse themselves later.
All right.
Are you getting what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the judgment that you just mentioned and the one that are coming, we want to see a new change of idea. We want to see justice being done.
All right then.
So that the polity will be at peace. You remember that when these injustices are being done, that is when people become agitated. But when things are done rightly, my dear, nobody will utter a word. Nobody.
Well, it said that justice should be done and must be seen.
Yeah,
to
exactly,
be done.
exactly,
Right. Well,
exactly.
thank you very much. We have to pause this conversation. This is Voice of the People. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we will be talking about the slash in trips in personnel accompanying the president to both international and local trips. A reduction by 60%. That's a conversation we'll delve into. And I know that the barrister is eager to chew on that one.
Of course.
We'll be back in a bit.